Good evening, good morning. How are we today? So, thank you for joining us. It is an honor to take you through today's training on the HR training for non-HR practitioners. So, who am I? I'm Jackie Njung'e. I'm a HR business practitioner. My background information is that I am an experienced human resource business partner, professional who works directly with an organization's senior leadership to develop and direct HR agendas that closely supports organizational goals. So I possess a vast senior human resource management functions spanning well from a wealth of over 30 years work experience, having worked in different economic sectors, including humanitarian, NGO sector, banking, real estate, property development, just to mention a few. So I hold a bachelor's degree in business administration, specializing in human resource from the Kenya Methodist University. I have other certifications, diplomas from the Kenya Institute of Management, in leadership, in management, in strategic management, in customer relations, just to mention a few. So I've done a few of counseling, and I'm also a member of the the Institute of Human Resource. So that's just a little bit about myself. So overview of the training today. This training seeks to orient non-HR professionals or managers on the particulars of the human resource functions and address common HR challenges at any workplace. The training will equip participants on the know-how to develop, to have the know-how of applying HR techniques. The training will also translate efficiency in resolutions of HR issues and adaptability in any workplace. In every profession or business entity, the most important resource is the human capital. It is therefore essential that the managers or team leaders or supervisors across all boards be hands-on at having people management skills. This will, in event, strengthen their workforce and reflect the true business values, cultures, and growth objectives well, filing critical needs. The future of work has brought about changes such as artificial intelligence, automation of work, and fluid workplaces. There is also an increased demand for creativity, imagination, social, emotional, and intelligence. So why is HR training important for non-HR persons? HR training for non-HR managers is important for them to understand the HR best practice when and how to comply with government legislations as they make application in their practices in an organization. So what are the key objectives? The key objectives of the training is to help non-HR managers to understand the basic HR processes and strategies, how to improve team development skills, how to identify effective appraisal techniques. The key target groups include the senior managers, heads of department, supervisors, and team leaders. So key expected learning outcomes from this training is to appreciate the importance of people in the organizational relations, obtain invaluable guidance for managers on how to avoid accidental or misinformed breach of the law, have an understanding of the recruitment and selection process, which will ensure that select the best persons for the role or job, to provide ideas, practical advice on managing situations in their departments professionally and in accordance with legal requirements. So more advanced training would cover HR processes and strategies, the employee life cycle, effective communication, HR role in discipline and grievance cases. I'm just going over through because this is basically a very it's like a course on itself. So I have just tried to minimize it to fit into our time tonight or this day. So understanding HR. What are the key roles of HR in an organization? Human resource planning, talent management, recruitment and selection, that is, performance management, compensation, benefits, training and development, and the workplace safety. That's basically in a nutshell. So the functional roles of HR: human resource planning, as a planning process, recruitment and selection, job analysis, job description, sourcing candidates, that's talent searching, the recruitment interview, reference checks, making an offer, contracts, onboarding, etc. So, performing management, compensation, benefits, and training. We give overview on compensation concept, objectives, and the components for consideration. They offer oversight of the factors in the compensation plan. They offer merit, pay system, performance appraisal. They assist unit managers or supervisors to offer performance appraisal. They carry out appraisal process, training, and development. They identify key knowledge, skills, and abilities required for a role. They facilitate for various trainings, give training and development perspective. They run the organization's training circle. They have a lot to do. The importance of HR in achieving organizational goals. So the importance is to ensure that the organization is able to achieve its objectives successfully through human resource, that's the people in the organization, and to improve organizational performance, plus be able to measure the capability through the best use of its employed resources. So, the laws and regulations. So the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Employment Act of 2007, Labor Relations Act 14 of 2007, Industrial Training Cap 237, National Social Security Fund Act of 2013, Regulations of Wages General Order and Amendment Order of 2018, Regulations of Wages, Domestic Servant Wages, Council Established Order 2018, Work Injury Benefit Act of 2007, Occupational Safety and Health Cap 514 Laws of Kenya, and I must say there is also the ILO Conventions of 2010. How can an HR manager comply with these laws and regulations? You can employ or consult a HR or a legal person knowledgeable in them. They can seek for HR consultant services if the organization does not have HR personnel. They can take career advancement course in IHRM. They can attend regular HR trainings and seminars and learn. They can read and understand to apply the legislation or laws to comply. So talent management, recruitment and selection, the process which involves job analysis, job description, sourcing, the recruitment of an interview, reference checks. This is a process that is vigorous and has to be taken by someone who's competent and understands what the HR process and talent management is all about. How can an HR manager assist in the recruitment and selection? They can provide technical skills, set specifications they require. For example, a manufacturing company in the mechanical automotive department, a service manager would be instrumental in specifying the right set of qualifications, skills, and talents, and the number of employees he would require in his department based on the outcome of production levels. They would be better skilled to recognize the productivity and performance of the employee in their department unit based on set KPIs and targets met. They can take part in the interview process, especially during the interviews. Managers need to understand the whole recruitment and selection value process. For example, most non-HR managers do not have the right skills to carry out proper interviews because they have not been trained and may not give a fair analysis of the behavioral and the aptitude evaluation of an interviewee, resulting in not being effective to get the right candidate for hire. So, performance management, that's compensation, benefits, and training. Performance management is described as an ongoing continuous process of communicating and clarifying job responsibilities, priorities, performance, expectation, and development planning that optimize an individual's performance and aligns it with organizational strategic goals. What is the most important? The importance of performance management? The main purpose is to ensure that employees and teams are given the resource they need to develop, the recognition they deserve to be motivated, and the accountability to keep what is expected of them to achieve their objectives. I hope I'm not moving too fast. So, the key components of performance management. Performance management starts through planning. So we set goals and measure, establish and communicate the elements and the standards required. We monitor by measuring performance, providing feedback, and conduct progressive reviews. We also develop, assess poor performance, and improve them. We improve an employee's performance by telling them where they need to improve and how they need to improve. So we set ratings, we summarize performance, assign the ratings, and keep a record of that. Then we offer the rewarding system that is most appropriate once we recognize the achievements of good performance, or even recommend what needs to be done for poor performance and the measures that need to be there. So how can an HR managers assist in the performance management process? By giving overview on compensation concepts, as I've explained, the objectives and the components for consideration, the oversight of the factors in the compensation plan. They offer merit pay payment, performance appraisals. They participate in the performance appraisals of their departmental staff. They carry out the appraisal process training and development. They identify key knowledge, skills, and abilities required for a role. So how can an HR manager assist in the training and development? They can facilitate for various trainings by giving training and development perspective, technical support, that is, they can create the SOPs and operational manuals that help the HR trainer be able to make it more palatable for the normal employee to understand. They can participate in the organization's training cycle. So the different techniques of training. There is technology-based learning, there's simulator, there's on-job training, there's coaching and mentoring, there's soft skills, there's team building, there's product and service training, instructor-led training, the role playing, the films and videos, the case studies. I'm just mentioning them because they are more detailed. There's a safety training. All this is part of the technique of training. The importance of employee relations. This enhances employee loyalty. It increases motivation. There's fewer chances of workplace conflicts. It improves the trust and confidence of employees. It ensures better workplace culture. It ensures work-life balance, and it betters employment engagement, employer-employee engagement. It enhances overall company performance. Don't we all want to have overall performance? We do. So how now can non-HR managers assist in the employee relations process? They can develop a strong mission. They can create employee support channels, an open door policy, for example. They can leverage on technology, introduce more AI related or softwares that ease the work. They can ask for feedback. They can make employees feel valued. They can turn employees into good team players by them being more flexible. They can make arrangements more visible, management more visible. Yeah, remember the work management by walkabout. They can offer development opportunities. Yeah. So conclusion, what's your take home? The most important resource is the human capital. Take care of them. Training of non-HR managers is important for them to understand HR best practice, when and how to comply with the government legislations. I must say Kenyan law is very, very employee friendly as compared to, I've looked at the labor laws of Uganda. For me, I felt as though it was the old Employment Act of Kenya from the colonial time. Ours is more advanced, and we have even opened more to the international labor law, the ILO. We have incorporated it into our labor laws 2010. Overall organizational performance will be enhanced with enhanced employee relations management. Wow. Sorry about that. Okay. So what questions do you have? Question and answer. What questions can you want to share? I'd like to hear from you. Let me see your comments in the comment section, and we will engage from there. If you need any question answered, how I may come on board and help you, I'll be more than willing to do that. Thank you, and God